Greenland is the world's largest island. It's situated between the Arctic and Atlantic Oceans to the east of the Canadian Arctic archipelago. Renowned for its vast expanse of icy landscape, Greenland captivates with its breathtaking natural beauty. With its strategic location in the North Atlantic, the island holds great geographical significance. And in this video, we'll find out why Denmark, a small Nordic country, owns this piece of land. Make sure you subscribe, and let's get right into it. But before we just directly answer the question, we need to look at the history of Greenland. You see, it has a vast and long history. In prehistoric times, Greenland was inhabited by a series of Paleo-Inuit cultures, whose existence is primarily understood through archaeological evidence. The earliest known arrival of the Paleo-Inuit in Greenland is estimated to have taken place around 2500 BC, a long time ago. These ancient cultures thrived in Greenland's challenging environment, adapting their lifestyles to the harsh Arctic conditions. Through the study of archaeological remains such as tools, structures, and artifacts, researchers have gained valuable insight into the lives and practices of these early inhabitants. The Paleo-Inuit culture left an incredible mark on Greenland's history and shaping its cultural heritage and serving as a testament to human resilience in extreme environments. To not make this video an hour long, we'll fast forward a bit to the Nordic settlement in 986. The west coast of Greenland became home to settlements established by the Icelandic and Norwegian settlers led by Eric the Red. Arriving with 14 boats, they founded three main settlements: the Eastern Settlement, the Western Settlement, and the Middle Settlement. These communities were situated along fords near the southwestern tip of the island. The settlers shared the land with the indigenous Dorset culture, which we'll get a bit in more depth in just a second here. But these Dorset cultures occupied the northwestern regions, and over the time the Thule culture also migrated to Greenland from the north, further diversifying the island's population. Now, I want to take a little break to explain who the Dorset people are, because I feel it's pretty important. The Dorset culture, classified as a Paleo-Eskimo culture, existed from approximately 500 BCE to sometime between 1000 CE and 1500 CE. It was in 1925 that the Dorset culture was first recognized and identified as a distinct cultural group. By 1500 CE and potentially as early as 1000 CE, the Dorset culture appears to have become extinct. During the 11th century, the Thule people began migrating eastwards from Alaska. As they moved across Arctic regions, they eventually settled in areas previously inhabited by the Dorset culture. While the Thule and Dorset culture coexisted geographically, there is limited evidence to suggest direct contact or interaction between the two groups. The extinction of the Dorset culture and the subsequent establishment of the Thule settlements indicate a significant cultural shift in Greenland and the Canadian Arctic. Now, the Thule, also known as Proto-Inuit, are considered the ancestors of the modern Inuit people. They emerged along the coastal regions of Alaska around the year 1000 CE. And from their Alaska origins, the Thule people gradually migrated eastwards, expanding across northern Canada. It's estimated by the 13th century they had reached Greenland, completing their eastward expansion. The Thule people were highly adaptive and skilled at traversing vast Arctic landscape. Their migration and settlement patterns demonstrate their ability to navigate diverse environments and establish thriving communities across the Arctic region. Thule culture significantly influenced the cultural development of the Inuit, shaping their language, traditions, and way of life. Through the remarkable journey across Alaska, northern Canada, and ultimately Greenland, the Thule people played a pivotal role in the establishment and evolution of Inuit culture. Their resilience and spirit and resourcefulness continue to resonate in the vibrant cultures and communities of the modern-day Inuit. But continuing our story, it's 1986, the first Norse started settling the world's largest island. Let's fast forward a bit again to 1261, the Norse Greenlanders, who were descendants of the original Norse settlers led by Eric the Red, submitted to Norwegian rule. At that time, Greenland became under the jurisdiction of the Kingdom of Norway. Norway in turn entered a personal union with Denmark in 1380. And now I know this is pretty tricky, but follow me. Subsequently, in 1397, the Kalmar Union was established, which united the kingdoms of Denmark, Norway, and Sweden under a single monarch. During this period, Greenland remained a part of the unified kingdom of Denmark-Norway within the Kalmar Union. This union lasted until its dissolution in 1523. Going back to these Icelandic settlements in Greenland, including the Eastern Settlement, Western Settlement, and Middle Settlement, well, they gradually declined and eventually vanished during the 14th and early 15th century. This decline coincided with a period known as the Little Ice Age, characterized by a decrease in both summer and winter temperatures. The Little Ice Age was a climatic phenomenon that affected various regions of the world between the 14th and 19th century. It brought about colder temperatures, shorter growing seasons, and adverse weather conditions. In the case of Greenland, the colder climate likely posed significant challenge to the Icelandic settlers who relied on agriculture and livestock for sustenance. The combination of colder temperatures, shorter growing seasons, and perhaps other socioeconomic factors likely contributed to the decline and eventual abandonment of the Icelandic settlements in Greenland. Between 1605 and 1607, King Christian of Denmark and Norway organized a series of expeditions to Greenland and the Arctic waterways. The purpose of the expeditions was to locate the lost Eastern Norse settlement and assert Danish-Norwegian sovereignty over Greenland. However, these expeditions were pretty much a complete failure. The leaders of the expeditions lacked experience with the difficult Arctic ice and weather conditions. Additionally, the instructions given to the leaders directed them to search for the Eastern settlement on the east coast of Greenland just north of Cape Farewell, an area that was almost inaccessible due to the southward drifting ice. The pilot for all three trips was English explorer.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
James Hall. Now, following the disappearance of the Norse settlements, Greenland came under the control of various Inuit groups. However, the Danish-Norwegian government maintained its inherent claims to Greenland and did not forget its historical connections to the island. In the early 17th century, Denmark-Norway re-established contact with Greenland and asserted its sovereignty over the island. But with that, that is the end, and that's just a brief history of Greenland and how it became a part of the Danish kingdom. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.